What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, all about pressure washing and quote IQ, and we are back for our Friday live stream Q&A. We're talking about pressure washing, equipment, chemicals, processes, everything that you can think of with regards to pressure washing. I'm here with a special guest. I got Mike here with me. Mike, how's it going, man?
Hi, Justin.
Mike, you usually do. I'm here with the special guest too. Justin, how's it going?
Well, normally I am, but today you're not so special, Justin.
That sucks, man. Hey, look, it is what it
Justin owes me a bunch of money.
Okay. Mike, I'm good for it. So
Hey, it's Friday.
Anyway, me and Mike are having a good time. We're ready to chop up some Q&A here. We have a couple things, a couple housekeeping things we want to address first and foremost. We had a big announcement this week. I'm not sure if you guys were aware of it, but we made a lot of changes to Quote IQ Cam. Okay, so if you're somebody who struggles with having too many job pictures on your phone, job videos on your phone, struggles with before and after pics, struggles with pre-inspection jobs with your forms and stuff like that, you obviously need to check out Quote IQ Cam with the first link in the comment section description. I just want to show you guys a couple of features real quick. Home screen, super cool. You got all your job archives, your before and after archives, and your what?
Nothing.
What are you laughing at?
Dude, I just saw what you did to the thumbnail.
I put myself on the thumbnail, guys, just for fun. Yeah. Anyway, Mike, you ruined the introduction to Quote IQ Cam, okay?
I apologize.
If you guys haven't checked it out already, be sure to check it out first link in the comment section description. Juan says, God bless you guys. We really appreciate that, Juan. And God bless America. Quote IQ Cam, though, the dashboard is all your recent jobs. This before and after pic taker is the best in the game. So essentially, you take your before picture, right? And then what it's going to do is allow you to accept it. And then for the after picture, it's going to overlay the before picture on top of it, so that way you keep your angles nice and crispy. We noticed that a lot of guys struggled with this. This is something that, I never really struggle with because I'm super detail oriented. Mike, on the other hand, a little bit of dyslexia happened over there.
Yeah,
so
I tell you, it's difficult.
Sometimes a gentleman can't tell where the before goes and where the after goes. You know what I'm saying?
Go. Sorry.
I was just going to say, we made it super easy for you guys, and I'm obviously joking. Mike did point out, though, that there's a lot of people in Facebook groups posting their before and afters, and a lot of times they're from completely different angles. It doesn't even look like the same property sometimes. So this was a big thing that, we wanted to make sure that we addressed. The other thing is whether you're taking your photos, side by side like this, or you want to take them, like that, YouTube or TikTok, you got either way, either orientation here. So as you guys can see, this is a side-by-side image. And what you can do from here is you can edit this. We put in an editor in here because I'm somebody who likes to make sure my pics are nice and edited. You can put in your company logo in here. You can mess with the brightness, the contrast, the saturation. You can add in, your before and after texts. You could just make your before and afters look really crispy clean, right, Mike? I think, this is an art and a skill that this makes a lot easier.
Well, and before, like when I was doing before and after pictures before, I'd take them on my phone, then I'd download them into like a before and after picture app. Then I'd have to find another way to, do like my logo, on it. And so I was using 2 or 3 apps, and it was so time consuming, but it's important. And so with all of that being said, we decided that, this is something that we wanted to build. Justin has been wanting to do this for like 2.5 years. And I'm so happy that it's finally done so he can stop talking about it.
I talked about it for a very long time just because I thought, it was going to be a really valuable tool for a lot of people out there. The other thing it does is it saves all these before and after pics under the contacts. So under all your contacts, you got your before and after, all your job archives, and all your inspection archives. This is a different tool than Quote IQ. This is not within Quote IQ. Quote IQ has too many things in it. We're actually still building things that are going in Quote IQ. So just so that it didn't become so convoluted, we made it its own entity, if you will. The other thing is Mike, we noticed, like, if I try to find before and afters on my phone, I'm scrolling through like tons of different, family pictures and all the other stuff that we have. And we wanted to make sure it was super easy and accessible for everybody, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a great tool. And it's ridiculously priced as well. And when I say ridiculous, I mean ridiculously low. There are other apps out there that are similar, that offer some of the same things. And legitimately, they are 2 to 3 times as much. And we are giving you a way better before and after pic editor and just some cool stuff within there that, you know, Justin just showed you. But you're not having to buy 3 users, right? They've got all this silly advertising where it's like, yeah, it's $29 a month, and then per user, and then you have to have 3 users, so it's not $29 a month, it's whatever 29 times 3 is. And I'm not very smart, so I can't do that math. But if anybody out there is good at math and you know what 21 times 3 is, put it in the comment section so I know faux show. But we don't do that. It's the price is the price. There's no hidden fees. There's no, you know, snaky salesman, snake oil, shitty stuff going on. It's just like, hey, here's the price, guys. You can get it or you don't have to.
Mike doesn't have enough fingers and toes to count that high. So, but it's okay, Mike.
Yeah.
Isn't that what abacus is? Abacus? Is that the word?
Yeah. I've got 21 toes, actually. I've got an extra toe.
Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna keep showing you guys. We got a couple other cool things that are in Quote IQ Cam. We'll give a couple shout outs. We got Georgios in the chat. I'm gonna address this after. I'm gonna finish shouting Quote IQ Cam out, and then we'll answer. If you guys have any questions for us, leave them in the chat. But before and after pics was the first thing we wanted to address with Quote IQ Cam. The second thing is just job pictures in general, right? So you guys are taking tons of pics on the job. I know we were. Things that were liabilities. So basically, you can take all your job pics now. You can save those underneath the customer, and you can just compile them. So now you can take as many job photos as you want. And as you guys can see, they take right onto the phone, and then they're laid out in a very nice, easy to look at manner. From there, you can then edit all these photos. You can change the titles, the descriptions, everything else that goes along with those. And then after which, once you have all these done, you can download them individually, or you can go ahead and ship out a form to your customers, which is super nice. You know, Mike, you could even use this as an upsell form, right? You could go around the house kind of taking pics of everything else that you can upsell, and then you could send them over a price, especially if you do remote quoting, you know, like we do. And you're muted. You're muted, Mike. You're muted.
No, I was doing my silent mouth thing.
Oh, Mike, you son of a bitch.
Really hooked to the camera. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, great upsell opportunity. But also what this does, these forms, these documents, this is not only something that you can like use to protect yourself, you know, take pictures so you don't get blamed for stuff that you were not responsible for. But I was talking to a guy and he was talking about, you know, a value proposition, right? Putting something together is so good that people would be stupid not to want to partake in the services that he's offering. And so he offers like a guarantee on roof cleaning. He, you know, like a 3-year roof cleaning, this and then that, you know, like we do a mildew preventative treatment, things that add value, the perception of value, at least. I mean, we're still doing these things. But he said that he also says with every single job, he is going to provide a thorough inspection walkthrough of the property, document everything that he sees, and provide that to the homeowner as just one of the added bonuses. And so when he's walking around, he might notice this, that, or the other. He's going to snap a picture, put it in the thing, videos, pictures, and then they have the opportunity to kind of, you know, see through somebody else's eyes what's going on their property. And again, it's just one of those added value things that he's building in to his, you know, the offering, which makes him that much more valuable than his competition.
Dude, that's actually really cool. So like for anybody who knows Alex, right? Hormozy, he always talks about making like the offer as valuable as possible. So something free like that, a little property inspection, not only can you upsell everything on the property, but it's a property inspection. Like what a beautiful thing. So there's a perfect tool. It's a perfect tool to do that. And then Jordan says, how much is Quote IQ Cam feature? I lose my job site photos on my phone all the time.
Okay. This is not a Quote IQ feature, right? This is not a feature on Quote IQ. Quote IQ Cam is a separate app, completely separate. You go to the App Store, you go to the Google Play Store, you put in Quote IQ Cam, and booyah, it pops up. And then all of the subscription tiers are right there. We've got a free version. We've got multiple tiers based on, you know, your needs and your business's needs, and you can upgrade as you see fit. But yeah, really cool.
Absolutely. So it's a separate deal. We talked about that a little bit earlier. So the 3 big things, right? Before and after pics, job photos, and of course we brought our inspection forms over. So for any of you guys who kind of saw the screen playing out, you can also record videos on here. It'll save, you know, video walkthroughs. So if that's the way you kind of want to take your property pictures or videos, it's another good way to go. Just like Jordan said, he loses job site photos all the time. It'll save them underneath the contact, so that way it's super easy. The last thing that we did is we actually revamped our inspection forms. So it was brought to our attention that the inspection forms could be better. Anytime we hear that something can be better, we always try to improve it, as long as, it's something that we can do. And that's what we did with this. So, of course, you have your 28-point inspection form, which if you guys get this within Code IQ Cam, you'll have Mike's pre-inspection form for all his pressure washing jobs. First thing we did was we made it to where you could take multiple pictures on the inspection form. Before, you'd have to take a picture, jump out of your camera, jump back into the camera, take another picture. Now you can take as many as you want per inspection point. So that was the first tweak that we made. The second tweak is we actually offered new inspection points now. So before, all of these were yes, no questions. Now you have a bunch of different things to choose from. You got yes, no, checkbox, and rating. And so that way it kind of just allows you to make it a little bit more custom to whatever it is that you need. Right, Mike?
Yes.
Sweet. So that is Quote IQ Cam. I want to do a little bit of a demo for you guys. Also, you can obviously export, all your inspection forms and everything else, send those to the customer. So they're super uniform and they look great. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys Quote IQ Cam real quick because it's something that me and Mike worked on for a long time. I've been talking about it for 2 years. It's something that I really wanted to build. So if you guys are interested, it'll be the first link in the comment section description. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the chat. Wash Time says he got it last week. We appreciate it. Pristine Window Cleaning LLC. What's going on, guys? How's it going? It's going great. When you say so, Mike?
Yeah, it's going fabulous.
It's Friday. George says, Mike, is your one-on-one service a limited time offer? The July-August slump hit me pretty hard.
Yeah, so George is talking about Justin and I are now doing very limited, very small one-on-one training, coaching. It's not training, it's coaching for a handful of individuals. We've got one that is coming up on September 11th, I believe, and that one is almost full. I think we've got 1 or 2 more slots available for that. And then after that, probably 2 to 3 weeks after that is when we'll start the next. We're staggering them. And so we've got a group right now and it's awesome. Like these guys are great. They are taking the things that, we're talking about, they're implementing them. We're giving them actionable steps. We're holding them accountable. We're doing just basically a dissection of their businesses, their marketing, everything that they're struggling with. And then we are reverse engineering to where they need to be as successful as they can possibly be. And, we've got guys that I've getting text messages all the time about and emails. One guy closed a $10,000 fleet washing deal with some of the advice given right after the first call. He just landed a big commercial gutter job. I got a text from him this morning. And another gentleman who was struggling with GMB was able to finally get that situated. And it's amazing to see the growth within just the first couple of weeks. So if you're interested in that, I'm sure Justin has put a link somewhere, but we are offering the one-on-one training, George. So if you're interested, go fill out the form and see if it is something that will work for you. And if anybody is interested, please, check it out.
And George says, I need to save up. It is,
yes, you do.
It's not cheap and it's not free, but it is so worthwhile. I mean, guys, like we put all our best stuff on YouTube, right? But the implementation is where things get missed. I mean, we're pulling back the curtain. We're giving you absolutely everything that we got, and then we're holding you accountable week in, week out. Another guy in another one of our coaching groups actually had his first $20,000 month. So it's really kind of an opportunity cost. You say you need to save up, but what are you missing out on in the time that you're saving up? Obviously, we don't want to put anybody in a hard spot, but at the end of the day, that's one of the things you got to weigh out. Mike, I do want to touch on this. Like, some of the guys come to us and they say, we're in that August, July slump. The slump comes about because of a few different issues. I think one of which being the lead flow isn't there. Like, yes, business does slow down, but a lot of the guys that we talk to are relying on 1, 2, maybe 3 sources. But for the most part, it's very limited. So I personally think that's where a lot of the slump comes from, because when you're diversified, you got lead flow coming in from a lot of different places. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
Yeah. And if you can plan ahead, I mean, I know I've been in business a long time, but even if you've been in business a couple years, you know that this time of year is traditionally slower than the rest. So what do? There are multiple things you can do. You amp up your marketing. You plan ahead and schedule out for this time, right? If there's opportunities for commercial work, apartment communities, HOA things that you've quoted out, you can do what I do. And I say, hey, listen, if you schedule for July or you schedule for August, we will offer a 15% discount or whatever you feel comfortable offering. And then, that's a really good thing. I think planning is critical, and planning in every aspect, from the logistical aspect of scheduling the jobs out if you are capable of doing that, or scheduling or planning on and amping up your ad spend. And that's another thing, Justin, and we're going to talk about it, but there are so many people that will bitch and complain about things. I don't have enough leads, or I don't want to invest in education. That's too expensive. The CRM is too expensive. Well, like, it just blows my mind. Like, you're just unwilling to make the investment in yourself. You don't trust yourself, but like, it's a mindset thing, and you have to be able to spend money to make money. And specifically, what I'm talking about here is with your ads, right? Yes, June, July, or July and August are traditionally slow. So spend $1,000 more, right? Put it aside, save it. It to me, I am so tired of people whining about it being slow. Yeah, do something about it.
The thing is expensive is relative to where you're at, right? And expensive might be a threshold for you, but the only way to surpass that threshold is to make the bet on yourself. And if you never do that, if you never you'll never push it, right? Because you'll always kind of stay stagnant and stay where you're at. And that's what we get. We get a lot of guys, calling us or coming in on the one-on-one coaching because they're like, hey, I've been doing things a certain way for a long time and I'm getting the same results over and over. Because at the end of the day, if you want to see new results, you need to do new things. And a lot of the things that would really push the needle forward in our business are things that we avoid because they're the uncomfortable things that we've been avoiding for a long time. But me and Mike kind of make that impossible because every week we press in and we say, what did you do? What did you do? And if you do not come and show up how we think you should be showing up, then we'll challenge you on it, right? Like, Mike, we have a guy in one of our classes where we've actually had guys in previous classes that have completely quit because they were challenged every single week on the actions that they were taking, but they weren't taking the proper actions, and therefore they decided that instead of being scolded in the group, they would rather just bounce and leave, right? Because that was easy.
And then they continue the mediocrity of their lives, the mediocrity of their businesses, and that's a tragic thing, right? If and we were talking about this earlier today, and a lot of it comes, and I can speak on this because I was there at one point, comes to the ego, and maybe some arrogance, where you're not necessarily happy or comfortable where you are, right? You want to better yourself, but you don't think that you're doing anything wrong, right? You think you've got it all figured out, you've got it under control. And if that was the case, then why aren't you happy where you're at? Why isn't your business growing? Why aren't you getting more customers? Why aren't you charging more? These are all things that, sometimes it takes somebody else, an outside force, to, kind of grab you by the back of the neck and say, hey man, like, you need to change what you're doing, and we can show you exactly what you need to do, but you have to do it. We can't make you. We can tell you. You can watch as much YouTube and Google and read as much and many books, but unless you decide you're going to do it, nothing is going to change. And that's where accountability, and that's where me kicking your ass, it can help, right? And the guys that actually implement, those are the guys that see the success. Those are the guys that get out what they put in. It's like at a bank, right? If you go to the bank and you've never put any money in, you can go up to the teller and say, hey, I need to get some money out, right? And they'll be like, get out of here. You've never put any money in. You're like, you're a bank. You got money. Well, it's the same with your business, right? Unless you put in the effort, unless you put in the sweat equity, unless you invest in yourself and your education and everything else, then if you don't do that, you're never going to get anything back out. But when you do, you're going to get out 10x what you put in. And people just sometimes they have to break that mindset and get into get into a different state of mind.
There's a saying that says, if you knew better, you would do better. And sometimes when you're in the weeds of your business, you can't see outside of those weeds. And that's why me and Mike have spent so much money on coaching and training and bringing people in to say, what are we missing here? Right? Me and Mike, we don't come in here and tell you guys what you should do. We actually live it day in, day out. And so we are constantly learning and implementing and finding coaches that can continue to level us up. And that expensive meter for us has really Like we continue to press up, press up, press up, but we had to be uncomfortable for a little while in order to in order to get past it. So I would
And
say okay.
it was so hard, right? Especially like Justin be like, hey, I found this guy. He, has a software business and he sold it to whoever for, $30 million. And he wants it was like, how much was that guy? He was like $3,000 for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like I am unwilling to give this dude $3,000 for an hour of his time. Like, yeah, I'm sure he's smart. And yeah, he built a business and yeah, he sold the business. But like, I'm pretty smart myself. I think I probably can. And then and then Justin's like, no, like we don't know. We need to surround ourselves with people that are smarter, that have been there, that have done that. Right. And we wrote the check, so to speak. We got in there with the guy. We ended up, I think we spent like 2 hours, if not more, with him. And there was a lot to be gained. There was a lot of knowledge that we were able to take away that we had no idea. I mean, I had just page after page of notes of stuff. He was just spitting, and it was like all second nature to him. It was like, yeah, like he talks about it like it was just like no big deal. And we're like, oh my God, that's a gem. We need to implement that today. And so when you write the check, you're more obligated to yourself to implement. And that's one of the biggest things that I talk about is implementation. People can consume all they want, but if they don't implement, if they don't follow through, then none of it matters. And that's where accountability comes. That's where holding yourself accountable. That's where, investing in yourself and knowing that somebody's going to be there to say, okay, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Because if you're not, then what's the point of any of it?
Right. And the thing I told Mike is if we pay $3,000 and he shows us how to get 30, then it's like it was well worth it, right? I think the biggest thing we took from that call is that he was just a normal guy first and foremost. And it was like after speaking with him, it was like if he could do it, then there's no reason why me and Mike cannot do it. And then the other thing was he took the lid off the jar for us, right? So for us, like there's like a lid, there's like a ceiling that we've set for ourselves in our own head. And when we speak to somebody that's surpassed that so far, it's like there's all these new possibilities now from talking to them. So it's a mindset shift. It's being able to see someone in a position you want to go to and knowing that it's possible to get there. And then it's also just when you pay attention. And so just like Mike said, we took tons of notes. We took tons of actionable steps from that call. And I would say it really propelled our business. So how do you get rid of, that July, August slump? You do better. You plan better. You become better in all facets of your business. And, that's something that you learn year 2, year 3, but where could you have invested the money to take that learning curve off the table and not have to go through, the slump, right, Mike?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, George says jobs are starting to come in again. That's awesome, man. We got premium fuel only. He says, "Wow, I caught a live stream. Happy that you're here with us." The other thing is, dude, people's mindset and mentality is it's invaluable. Okay, because like the more bulletproof your mindset and your mentality is, like me and Mike have done so many things. I don't feel like there's anything that we cannot do. And so if we can rub that off on you guys, I mean, obviously the first step is just being here on the live, but it's also taking the actions. Just like Mike said, it's not enough just to watch a video. But like, I mean, Mike, wouldn't you agree? I feel like we could do anything that we wanted to, at least in a business sense,
Yeah, 100%. And I shared this with you the other day. I ran into a friend of mine, and he is very successful in his field. He started as like a painter, right? He worked for the Cadillac dealership doing, paint jobs and stuff like that. And then he went to work for somebody else, ended up buying out an auto body shop. And that was 15 or 20 years ago. And he's built it up to multiple locations. He's got a huge place, tons of employees, like very, very nice, profitable business, which allows him to live a very nice lifestyle. When I was going to actually do a quote at a job, the video I did yesterday, it was right next door to his auto body shop. And so when I rode by, I saw this beautiful white Range Rover, and I was like, oh my God. And he popped out of it, and he's always been a Jeep guy. And I was like, dude, this is freaking beautiful. And then he saw my Tesla, and he's like, oh my God, dude, you're so gay. And I was like, no, shut up. I love it. But so long story short, we were talking, and I was telling him about some of the things that I've been involved in over the past few years. And he goes, dude, he said, you're so smart. And I was like, but I'm not smart, right? Like, yes, we're all smart to our own, but like, I am not like, I was not an A+ student. And, I'm not like a genius and I've never claimed to be, but he goes, you know what? You're right. He said, and because he's seen me do a bunch of different things over the years. And he goes, you have no fear, right? He goes, it's the zero fucks given that allow you to, take a hit and fail, because failure only makes you better, and get up. And that's what, differentiates you from a lot of people, is the fact that you can lose, you can fail, you can have a business that doesn't succeed, but it doesn't stop you. You get back up and you keep going. And that's one of the biggest things, right? I think one of the biggest problems that people have is inaction. Is one of the biggest things that is the problem in their business. They just are not willing to go forward, right? They want to do it, they've got the dream, they've got the goals, but they just can't commit. They can't, find it in themselves to take that step, to risk it, to bet on themselves. And that is why we can do anything, and we will continue to. So
I think another thing is people get lost in the weeds, right, Mike? There's a lot of people on a lot of places saying a lot of different things with regards to the actions that you need to be taking. And that's why our coaching kind of cuts through all of that. And we just get directly to the source and we say, hey, these are the things you need to do week in, week out. And then by the time you're done with it, you have the action plan, you have the playbook, you know exactly what you need to be doing. And the only person to hold accountable for you not being successful at that point is yourself, because it's either you're taking the actions to move your business forward or you're not taking those actions. So highly recommend you guys check out the coaching if you're interested. It's going to be the first link in the comment section description, or second link. I think
yeah,
IQ
whatever. It's down there somewhere, Justin.
Taylor says 7G, staying shiny. We like it, Taylor. Thanks for hanging out, bro. Kako, what's the best chemical to use for soft wash? Please tell me.
Bleach.
There you go, bleach. That's an easy one. How many dollars? $29.
$29 sign.
I love using Quote IQ app. I still have the free version, still, as I am still getting started, but customers love it when I add before and after photos to my invoices. Excellent, man. Excellent.
Jordan,
If you
what
want
kind
your
of motorcycle are you on there?
Probably a Honda. I'm just kidding. If you want to make your before and after, if you want to take your before and after to the next level, be sure to check out Quote IQ Cam, all in one, and it's a lot of fun. Coming visit family. Might stop by Jacob's pressure washing store. Absolutely, man. We'd love to have you by the shop. Come visit, say hello.
What is the name of it? It's GoPro.
No, it's the Pro Wash Shop.
Nice.
Pro Wash Shop. I have it. It's in one of my recent videos, so you guys can go check it out. PREAUX. Hey guys, I'm currently working on setting my prices in Quote IQ. How can I determine the best way to set prices?
Well, that's actually a great question. Colony City Cargo. We have got a national averages pricing in there for pressure washing, as well as probably 10 to 12 other home service industries. So you can check that out. It's in the resources section. Just go down to national averages and click on the pressure washing, and it has got, some pricing guidelines. And that's very important, because your business can't be run on national averages, because you're not servicing the nation, right? And you're not competing with people in states states away. So you need to know your market. You need to know what the market will bear. You need to understand what your cost structure is. You need to know your overhead. All of that obviously can be, figured out in Quote IQ. We've got the hourly rate calculator. We've got all your expenses, all the things that you need, all the tools you need, so you can figure out the best way to price. Justin and I have also both made dozens of videos on pricing, and you can watch those. But, start with the national averages, understand your business, understand your market, and then you can kind of hone in from there.
Absolutely. I'm going to add a couple things. First and foremost, always be mindful of your close ratio, right, Mike? Close ratio is one of the most important things, because you need to be mindful of how many leads, how many quotes you're sending out versus how many are actually coming back. You want to keep that, somewhere between maybe 40 and 70%, somewhere around there. The other thing to be mindful of is where you live, how much lead flow you have, how much competition there is. There's a lot of different things. Like pricing is a moving target. Me and Mike, like he said, has made tons of videos. Quote IQ, the whole design of it was built around pricing, right? So we like square footage based pricing. I'll give you kind of a range for where you need to be at on all these. So house washes, we like to be somewhere around 15 cents. Concrete cleanings around 12 cents. And then for roofs around 20 cents, at least for my particular area, for our particular lead flow. And obviously this varies. If we're in the heat of spring and things are rolling, those prices are going up. But if we're, going into fall, into the year, we're obviously, dulling those prices down a little bit. Mike, do you mind? I'm trying to like say things. I'm gonna have to go solo on this because like, dude, your phases are fucking throwing me off. Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Nothing. I was looking at several things, but no, I mean, you were on a roll.
Excellent. So, if you need any other help on pricing, we'll have links somewhere, videos down below. But Quote IQ is built specifically for pricing. That's why we built the Map Measure Pro within Quote IQ, so that we can measure all your properties and assign each one of those different services a specific a specific rate per square footage. That way you can quote quickly. One other thing with regards to landing jobs, quoting, things of that nature, the faster you quote, the more jobs you're going to land. Mike built his whole business on being the first person to quote somebody, and there's a much higher likelihood of landing that job when you are the first person to send a quote. Right, Mike? Can't hear you.
Did you mute me?
No, I didn't.
78% more likely to get the job if you're the first to quote it.
Excellent. 78%. How many jobs are you missing out on because you're not the first person? So that's why we implemented the call team. Also, every call is answered by the call team. They take all the most pertinent information. I know whether it's a big job. I know whether it's a scammer. Dude, Google Voice has called me 400 times. I need to I've been trying to figure out what number I can call for that to fix that. But like Angie's Leads call me, Yelp calls me. Like I get calls all day long from just solicitors. So anyway, it's really good for screening people out and knowing how quickly you need to get back with certain individuals. So hope that helps with regards to pricing. You have to reinvest in your company to grow. I started out in April with a bucket, a squeegee, and $36, and have done about $20,000 this summer. That's incredible,
That's awesome.
man. Good work, Jordan. Jordan took action, okay? He didn't let his current situation stop him, right? I think too many guys, right, Mike? They don't have any money. What businesses can I start with no money? Well, like Jordan just said, he had $36, got a bucket of squeegee, went out there, reinvested back into his business, and now he's at a point where he can really scale because – I mean, dude, you made 20 grand. Like if you continue to reinvest that money, too often guys try to pull the money out too quickly, right? And they're like, oh, I'm going to make a living with this. It's like maybe for the first year, just reinvest and see how big you can build up your business. Mike, anything else you want to add with regards to this?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Excellent. Thanks, fellas. Quote IQ has been great for me. I got to see what you're commenting down here. Is it because Kurt's in here?
I haven't commented anything.
Dude, Mike, what are you doing, dude? You're throwing me off, bro. You got the crazy eyes today in this live stream. I might have to go solo.
No. I saw Kurt pop in
for this one.
I saw Kurt pop in, and I was going to tell him that my voice didn't crack in the video yesterday. That was inflection.
Okay.
But no, there's just been some great comments, and like, I love the Quote IQ's been great for us.
I love it. Yeah, a lot of good Quote IQs in here. We appreciate you guys. I spent $500K to $1K. No, $500K. I spent $500 to $1K a month on marketing. June 8th jobs, July 5th jobs, or 5 jobs. August 5 jobs. Normally get 4 to 5 jobs a week. It just depends. I tell guys this all the time, right? You can spend as much money into marketing as you want, but if your marketing is terrible, if your Facebook ads terrible, your Google ads are terrible, you're basically throwing money into a trash can or you're lighting it on fire. Okay, so something to be cognizant of. Me and Mike talked to one guy, and he said his cost per acquisition on Google was over $200. He was like $225 a person. Like, I don't know what his average ticket price is, but I would hope that it's much more than $225, or else he is just like doing free work, essentially. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm about to kick Kurt if he keeps messing with our live stream. Okay.
Why? What's he doing?
I don't know. It just seems like you're very distracted right now, and I need you.
No, you just keep talking, and I'm trying to stay awake.
Dude, this is how I feel like every time you hit me with a monologue story. Me and Mike like to have a good time. If you have a smaller budget, would y'all recommend If you have a smaller budget, would y'all recommend Facebook or Google? In my experience, Google isn't super efficient with a small budget. Love y'all stuff. I would agree to this, but also not.
Let me throw in my 2 cents.
Go ahead, Mike.
It's interruption versus intent, right? We know that Google is intent, Facebook is interruption, and people are not on Facebook to hire you. But I think Google is a better place depending on your market, depending on what your competition is doing. If you've got $500 a week to spend and somebody else has got 2,000, guess who's going to get the views and the eyeballs on them? They are. And so that's where Google sometimes, is not as great. There are some tools that Google offers that, doesn't that can kind of level the playing field, and you can do some research and figure some of that stuff out. But there's also no shame in hiring somebody that understands Google and how to run ads efficiently. And like Justin said earlier, you got to make sure that your marketing is good, right? If you're running ads that suck, they will never convert. And so that's one thing to look at. But I don't know. Facebook has been doing really well for us lately.
You have to have a strategy. If you're running this stuff in blind and like test, this is what I did in the beginning. I just tested in the beginning and I found it worked over time. Now I wasted a lot of money in between the testing and me figuring out what actually worked. So that's something that you have to pay. It's opportunity cost, right? What is the opportunity cost of you running your ads until you figure it out? I don't know. It's probably pretty big versus the opportunity cost of you hiring somebody else to run your ads. The other thing is you say you got a small budget. I always recommend for guys to take a percentage of earned income and throw it at whatever their ad spend is, because when that's the case, it's no longer a gamble. Somebody might say, oh, I only got $300-$400 to put towards ads this month. Well, why is that? Well, we need to take a look at your business, and we need to take a look at the different type of marketing that you're currently utilizing, because maybe a boots on the ground technique would be more beneficial for you early on. So anyway, it really, Cole, would have to depend on your current circumstance, but I would say figure out the lead flow in the other areas as well. So I don't know. Without knowing your business, it's hard to tell. But I do appreciate the question. Thanks so much, man. Rashad, Quote IQ is the best CRM out there. I completely agree.
Yeah, Rashad is correct.
And if it isn't, somebody give me a reason why. Because if you give me a good reason, then I'll fix it. You know what I mean?
Exactly
and
right.
that's what me and Mike always say. It's like, we'll do whatever we have to. Clean wash. Quote IQ is by far the best out there. Rashad is right.
Rashad is right.
What's your thoughts on using Harbor Freight 1-inch pumps getting started out until you can afford the higher end software systems?
Well, Harbor Freight is trash. I've used Harbor Freight for many years, but that was long ago. And just starting out, they're not made for bleach, but I have seen videos where guys have had success with them, and I don't know how much a Harbor Freight pump costs. We just bought 2 pumps from what was the name of that place, Justin?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Soft Wash Depot. I just got 2 what are they called? FlowJet 6 gallon per minute, 70 PSI, 12 volt pumps. Ordered them from Soft Wash Depot. They were like $230 each, and they're specifically built for pressure washing. That means they're going to last longer. So how many Harbor Freight 1-inch pumps are you going to go through and then replace and spend the time going to Harbor Freight? And, hopefully you're not the guy that's going to be like trying to get, a free pump because you ran bleach through and whatever. But yeah, so I think you spend a little extra up front and buy, you can get a good soft wash pump for $200.
With the equipment talk, it seems like guys either take one of two camps. Either they're trying to do it for as absolutely cheap as possible, or they're trying to go all out, like so hard that like they want the best of the best, the top of the line. I would say find a middle ground. Try to land right in the middle, right? Don't go for the biggest and baddest thing that you can, but also don't go for the cheapest shit that you can too, because when it shits out to when it inevitably blows up on the job or whatever the case may be, dude, that's not a good day. It's like one of the worst things whenever stuff starts breaking on the job, and then you got to like pack everything up, go back, fix it, go back another day. And it's like, if you just spend a little bit more money, again, opportunity cost, what are we missing out on by just investing a little bit more? So yeah, I don't know. That's what I think, Mike.
Because I was the guy that would build my own pressure washers. I would, go buy the Predator V twins. I would get, everything that I needed, and I would build my own pressure washers. And though, like I have run the same Hondas for years, yet you go through 3 or 4 Harbor Freight Predators in that same time frame, and the amount of time it takes to break down the pump and everything, it's just not worth it. So my advice, Jordan, was would be, if you don't have a soft wash system yet, but you do have a pressure washing system, go out and make as much money as you can pressure washing, and then go buy the proper equipment. So then you can just hit the ground running and then start doing some roof washes. It's going to pay for itself in the first half of the first roof wash.
I mean, Jordan, your first mistake was telling us that you already made $20,000. Okay, so
Yeah.
we know you got the money. Dude, unless you're one of those people who's living off of that money. Now, like I said, that's where we get into a scaling issue, because now we got to look at your lifestyle and everything else. But if you're somebody that like does this part time, dude, and you make 20 grand, it's like, let's throw that 20 grand back into the business so that we can then leverage it again. But either way, do you often get invited inside the house to do some pressure washing by some cuties?
Yeah.
Dude, going in people's houses, I could never go in people's houses to do services, because okay, so one time I was doing a ride along with my buddy Jorge, who does painting, and we went into these people's house. It was really awkward. It's really weird to go inside of somebody else's personal space. And then he had a giraffe that he had killed in Africa and stuffed, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And after that, I never went inside another customer's
Fuck
home.
that guy.
It
Like,
was
that's terrible.
It was terrible.
Like a giraffe. Like, was it a vicious giraffe? Was it attacking him?
Dude,
Or
it was
he was
full-size
eating
giraffe.
grass from, like, it was eating like leaves from a tree, and he went up and popped it. Like, that is cowardice.
Look, I'm not saying that it was right, or I mean, obviously it was wrong, but I mean, anyway, I'm just saying, weird scenario going inside someone's home. It's very strange. So no, we don't go inside anybody's home, even if they are cutie, Okay. Property management companies is the way to make money, at least for us. That's one way. There's also 400 different ways. And the way for us is diversification. So what is the onboarding process for accepting payments in QuoteIQ? Super easy. All the payments are done through Stripe, which is the largest processor in the world. All you got to do is create a Stripe account, connect it to QuoteIQ. You're ready to go. 20, 30 minutes, Mike?
Yeah, easy. And if you need help with that, we have got onboarding calls, video calls, where we can, help you get set up with anything within the app to, get you started and moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. RJ Spina says, hey guys, what is up, RJ? Welcome to the live stream. I started by using the homeowners pressure washers. Use that $500 to get my own pressure washer, 100 feet of hose. Now I have 14-foot trailer set up for soft washing and pressure washing.
That's awesome. And that's a unique story, right? Well, it's how you started. You borrowed your dad's pressure washer and got started, and then evolved into where you're at now.
If you want to do something bad enough, you'll find a way, okay? And this is what separates the people that are most successful from the people that are just dabblers. The people that are most successful find a way, and the people that are dabblers will be on here asking questions every single week, right? And never taking action. So,
yeah,
Hydro, awesome story, man. If keep it going. That's all I got to say. And if you want to come on one of our channels, we'd love to talk about it. Mike, what do we call male Karens?
Kurt.
They're worse than female Karens.
You know what he had just said, what you had said, Justin, about, you'll find a way. A wise man once said, life will always find a way.
What
Jeff
does that mean, Mike?
In Jurassic Park, he said that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched Jurassic Park.
What?
Well, Mike, I think you were around, right? Around that time period? The Cretaceous period.
Well, it would have been the Jurassic era, not Cretaceous.
Well,
that's it.
I don't know if you know your own time, big guy. Let's be honest with ourselves.
I'm a gentleman of age and distinction.
Sometimes a gentleman's got to know when a gentleman was around,
Yeah.
So, do you think about the competition when pitching, or do you focus on value?
I quit baseball many years ago.
Okay. Okay, so this is something very interesting. Awesome question by RJ. What you can do is actually position against your competition, and what you can do is just leverage your own knowledge when walking a property with the customer to create gaps for the other people that are going to be servicing that property, right, Mike? So it's like, hey, even if I don't get the job, make sure whoever doesn't put pressure on that vinyl siding, because it looks like it's oxidizing, and if they do, it's going to wipe the paint clean off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
setting us apart as an authority and also setting kind of a trap for anybody else that goes and quotes it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's other ways to play it too. It's like, hey, when was the last time that you had your house cleaned? They're like, oh, it was 2 years ago. I was like, oh, well, who did it? And they're like, oh, some guy. I was like, well, why didn't you call him back? And then they will tell you, why they didn't call him back, and there'll be a number of reasons. But when they tell you these reasons, shut your mouth and listen, and then use those points, because these are probably pain points, to understand why they aren't using that person and how your business can solve those pain points, right? So yeah, he said he was going to be here on Wednesday and he didn't show up until Thursday and he never called. Or yeah, he came and he was smoking cigarettes and left butts on the, there could be a million different things. My windows were all spotted after he left and I'm not calling him back. Oh, well, that's awesome, because we do a full high volume window rinse after every house wash, just to make sure that you're not going to see any spots. We want you to be looking out those windows and thinking, wow, these guys did a phenomenal job, not like, wow, I got to call him back. Or we keep a very tight schedule, we do this or whatever. Like there are always things that people can tell you that you can use to your advantage in the sales process. So I don't think about my competition like they're going to come in and outsell me, or they're going to whatever. No, I think of my competition as giving me ways to sell above and beyond what they're capable of doing.
I think an important part about doing this kind of strategy is creating the space for the customer to answer and tell you about the experiences that they've had with other service providers. Not only that, but asking the proper questions to lead into that. Because Mike, I mean, we've talked to a lot of guys where like they'll go on site and they'll quote a job and they're talking about their equipment and they're talking about how, they just kind of got started in business, and they're selling against themselves by talking about all of their inexperience and things that the customer doesn't really care about. The only thing the customer cares about is the result that you get for them. They don't care how long you've been in business. They don't care about what equipment you're running. They don't care about, maybe to some extent, the processes. They might want to hear a little bit about, how things are going to be done, but that's why we let them ask those questions. And then we ask the questions to kind of set ourselves up apart from the competition. Mike does a really, 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 really good job with this on commercial properties. Within the one-on-one training, we actually break down Mike's commercial script, the script that's landed him 10, 20, 30, $100,000 jobs, how he's walking with these property managers. The thing about commercial guys is you have to have at least 3 quotes on commercial. And so when you get an instance like that, you really have to figure out a way how you're going to set yourself apart from those other 3 bids that the company's going to get. And Mike lays it out just so beautifully and gives you the ability with the questions that you ask to set yourself apart from all the other contractors. Right, Mike?
Yeah, for sure.
And then we go into opportunity cost, right? Because you get a call from a big apartment complex. What's the opportunity cost of not having this information? Could be $40,000. So that's why, we put it in the group, because it's really killer stuff. And, in the wrong hands, it'd be dangerous, So if you guys want to check that out, first link in the comment section description, or the second link for me and Mike's coaching. But awesome question. Yes, you can set up questions and allow the customer to talk, and you'll be able to set yourself up from the competition that way. Male Karens, aka called Kyles.
Are called Kyles.
That's what I want to call this guy, but might make him more sad. Okay, I've been getting a few jobs, small jobs, 250 to 300. Normally, I would charge at 400 to 500 per house wash. The economy in the slump really affected me. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about economy and beating the economy. Okay, there's people that we can service that are not affected by the economy, that they have more expendable income no matter what. They always will have it, right? So we need to be targeting those people out. And yeah, wouldn't you say so, Mike? Just finding the right customers.
Right. There are a lot of people that are not affected by the economy. And those are the people that we have always worked for. Those are the people that we target. And those are the people that we enjoy working for. These are the people that sometimes will not even ask for a price. And those are the best. I mean, I've had at least 2 this week. I got a message from the voice AI thing, and it was like, hey, wanted to get on the schedule. And so when I get a message like that, I just assume it's a previous client. And so I just hit him with a text and I was like, yeah, absolutely, we can be out there next week. And then I went and I was going to like put him into onto the calendar, and they were not an existing account. And I was like, wow, they just said, come and do it. Like they had no questions, just come and do it. So I sent them a message. I was like, hey, just wanted to follow up and make sure that, you didn't, we're not setting a time to come and do a quote, right? Like they're like, no, just come and do the job and send us the invoice. You've got all our information. It's like, okay. So it's pretty awesome.
Mike, I didn't hear anything you just said, but it sounded like it was really boring.
Yeah. And Justin just texted me and says, WTF, the voice IA thing.
What the fuck is an AI boy anyway?
You know what I'm talking about. I forgot the name.
Dude, we created it. Why wouldn't you say the exact name of it? Okay.
What is the exact name?
Justin talking like he used Red Bull as his coffee creamer. Dude, I don't talk
Always
that
does. Except he
I?
wakes up like at 11:30 a.m. and he's like rolling out of bed. He's like, "Oh, let's get the day started." I've been up since 4:30 working, and
Well, dude, when you're clocking in the night shift, you know what I'm saying? It gets hard to pull that front end when you're on the back end, if you know what I'm saying. No, anyway, I think the fast talking kind of started with the shorts, right? And it's kind of a way to hold tension because if I was up
dude,
here talking like this.
do you remember when we started making the shorts? Like we were kind of we were at the forefront of pressure
Yeah.
washing short format videos, and we nailed it. And then everybody started to copy what we were doing. And somebody that I know, he thought that when we were talking fast, we just sped it up. And so he recorded and just sped up and I was like, what the hell did you do? He's like, oh, isn't that what you guys do? We're like, no, we just talk fast.
The thing is you got to talk fast to hold people's attention. Okay. So, that's all. That's the only reason I do it. Justin's laugh cracks me up. I really appreciate that. That's really sweet of you to say. Will you post this to watch later? Yes. All of our lives. Is that Mr. Justice right there? This dude looks like he means business. Let's be honest with ourselves. Please post that / send a link. Mike, can you text this guy over a link once we're done?
Yeah.
All the lives that we do are saved.
Yeah, they're on our channel. They're on the Quote IQ channel, my channel, and Justin's channel.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. Jordan says a Harbor Freight 1-inch gas pump is about $230 regular price.
Okay, so he also says that he's reinvested $3 to $4 grand. Then Jordan says that he doesn't want to be cheap, but he can't afford a $10,000, $25,000. And I'm not saying to go 10 grand.
No, dude. Like I'm talking about you can get a decent soft wash setup. You don't have to buy a skid or anything like that. Shit, I built my own for forever. But yeah, no, you can put together your own. Hell, Cody made a course for us that Justin filmed and put together called How to Build a Soft Wash System. And it goes through every aspect from the plumbing to the wiring. And you don't have to spend an arm and a leg.
Absolutely. What else did I want to? Oh, Kurt had a thing. I have a good idea. Make a review multiplier option to where the customer has to leave you a review before they pay. That way there's no excuse.
That's funny.
We'll make that just for you, Kurt. So that way.
So what Kurt is talking about is inside Quote IQ, we have built something called the review multiplier. It's free. So anybody that, doesn't want to pay a monthly subscription for all of the amazing stuff inside of Quote IQ, you can still do a lot of things. One of which is the review multiplier. So once your customer pays the invoice, they are automatically redirected to your Google Business Profile review page. So it's like just part of the process. It's like, okay, I get the invoice, I pay the invoice, now I leave you a review. Our reviews have 10x'd since we have implemented this into Quote IQ and into our business, and it's phenomenal.
It's absolutely incredible. So if you are somebody that needs reviews, we talk to guys all the time. We do one-on-one coaching with guys all the time. How many reviews you got? Well, I have eight reviews. And you're asking me why you don't have business? You have 8 reviews? Would you buy a product on Amazon that had 8 reviews? Exactly. So go get some more reviews. Use the review multiplier, absolutely free within Quote IQ, as well as sending estimates, invoices, and collecting payments. Come on, and keeping track of all your customers. So, Mike, you're still the guy. I don't know about that.
Thank you.
I do 4K a week with a 4 GPM machine and still have room for more work. Focus your money into marketing until your equipment can't keep up with your work. Completely agree. Absolutely. Tell us about the dinosaurs, Mike.
Which ones?
Your favorite ones. Which one was your favorite dinosaur, you think?
I'd have to say the Plesiosaurus, because the Plesiosaurus is actually still in existence. It's in Loch Ness. And if anybody's interested in learning a little bit more about that, I would be happy to talk. Maybe I'll make a video about it. But it was the Ice Age that closed off the Loch Ness, which is a long, fingers, basically, a very deep, cavernous water. And the plesiosauruses were in the ocean. They swam into Loch Ness because it was getting cold, and they were trying to, get away from that. And then the Ice Age come. Well, because they can, stay underwater for so long, they lived in the caverns. The Ice Age come, and when everything melted, it pushed all the land, so they were trapped there forever. So that's why we have Loch Ness Monster today.
Mike, I'll be honest with you. I usually hate your stories, but that one was actually pretty cool, man.
Thanks.
That was awesome. Yeah, got a little history fact. So if you guys haven't hit the thumbs up button already, I don't know what you're waiting for, because that was worth more than one thumbs up. Let's be honest with ourselves. Justin, you never seen Jurassic Park? I have not. I've never seen Jurassic Park. I've seen bits and pieces. I know what it is, but Justin's probably a 2000s baby. I'm not. 1994. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna date myself, but
that's when I graduated from high school.
Wow, Mike, how fun is that? What about the Triassic?
That's why you have to call me Dad.
Oh, that's really sweet, Mike. Thank you.
The Triassic period? Yeah, I see.
Whoa, big Triassic guy. Male Karens equal Marins.
I like it. Pretty good, George.
What's the best way to secure commercial jobs? I don't know if we can give that away.
I've made lots of videos, but that's kind of like my secret power, and it's something that we dive deep into in our training.
How do you price strip mall buildings, by the square foot or by the day? It really depends. Me and Mike we've been kicking around the idea of doing a workshop for specifically pricing and other things as well. But pricing is one of the big things.
So I look at jobs, not necessarily like understanding what the square footage, having a price that goes with that square footage is very important, right? Because that's a very good baseline. But then there are other things that you need to take into consideration. Commercial work, right? There are some strip malls that don't have water sources. So that's something that you need to come and, you have to think about. Some are not going to allow you to work during the day, obviously. So that comes into consideration when you're pricing. Is there heavy gum buildup, and do they want the gum removed? Because that is going to amplify the price significantly, because you're having to, pop off all of these pieces of gum. Are the windows going to need to be washed after you do the pressure washing? Because, they probably have window cleaners that come in, or is it something that we need to coordinate with the window cleaners? There are so many, differentiating factors that come into play when you're quoting commercial or really anything. It's very difficult for me to say, how long is it going to take? I've got an hourly rate price. I can apply that. How many square feet? I know what my average square feet is for commercial flat work. And then I kind of look at it all together, and I'm like, okay, and what do I think that they're going to be willing to pay? And then there are questions, if you have the opportunity and you know what to ask, to kind of even hone that in further, so you can get even more information, extract that information, apply it to the quote, and hopefully secure the job. So all kinds of things that come into play.
There you go. Lots of different aspects of things that could happen. Mike, let's get into some serious topics. What's the deli meat of the day?
I just had my sandwich, and it was delicious. It was London broil again.
London broil. That's not a meat, though, right? Isn't that
it's a roast beef. It's a specific cut of roast beef. And I sometimes when I go to the deli, I'll be like, hey, bring me the London broil. And they're like, well, we haven't cut any yet. And if you go early in the morning to the deli, they get very upset because it's a very bloody meat. And then they have to like double clean up. She's like, oh, you're going to make me do it again? I'm like, yep, give it to me. And I want it thick.
Do they have an accent when they give it to you, Mike? Your broil, sir.
Yeah, no. I wish.
Speak British to me. That's all you got to ask for whenever they give it to you.
Oh, I get it.
Fellas, do any of your restaurant dumpster pads or concrete? I'm working on potentially cleaning local Culvers. I'm fighting with Google. Keeps dropping my GMB pages. I get a couple of 5-star reviews. Do any of you do restaurant dumpster pads? Yeah, of course. Yeah, we do restaurants. Mike does route work all the time. So absolutely.
Well, you've got two questions. There's a lot of questions going on there.
He's fighting Google to keep dropping his GMB. I'm working on potential.
That sucks.
I don't know what the question is on that. If you have a question, Brandon, we love to answer it for you, man.
But yeah, like Culver's, I can't eat there, but like my kids bring Culver's home sometimes and it looks delicious.
What is it?
It's like a fast food restaurant, but they have like I think custards, like like ice cream, but it's custard. Oh, it
Okay.
looks delicious. I try to, minimize carbs and sugar.
Jack says ultra successful people learn how to generate income while they sleep. Completely agree. Can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
I hate sleeping. We discussed this last time.
Do you remember the question, Mike? What supplements do you take to help you not sleep? I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
Well, what I've discovered over time is if you just sleep faster, then you don't need as much sleep.
Wow, I
My
never
poor
thought
wife
about
last night
that.
she got a little stomach virus and she was throwing up all night. And I didn't I didn't even know it until the morning when she told me, because I slept right through it.
How nice is that,
Yeah.
dude? Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say something, but
Sleep fast.
we're gonna save it. Mm, let's see which one I want to pull in. Have you guys ever talked to Fresh Rents, King of Pressure Washing, or Joe from Powerful Improvements? Yeah, we're actually friends with those guys.
Mateo, do you not watch my channel? Do you not
Obviously
watch
not.
their channels? Because I've been on theirs and they've been on mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good question. Can you guys share some good ways to prepare for winter? I'm in school right now, so I'm hustling power washing on the side.
Yes. Get a jacket, gloves, depending on where you live, maybe a scarf, and definitely something to keep your head and your ears warm. Because if you keep your head and your ears warm, everything else will stay warm.
Wow, and maybe some wood in case you want to light a fire
And something to start that fire. I actually always have a
and
fire
mitten.
starting kit very close to me, just in case, like apocalypse happens and I need to start a fire. This is a true
Why
story.
don't you throw a spark or two, Mike, on camera so we can see what's up? Put a show on for these people. You know what I mean? They paid a lot of money to be here.
They paid a lot of money. Where's my? Oh goodness. Well, you keep talking, Justin, while I find my.
Actually, we're all just gonna sit here in silence as Mike goes to find his.
This is also for the apocalypse. I've got 3 of these, just in
Jack
case.
Grimaldi says that's very exciting, Mike.
Yeah.
That's how
Now
he said it.
I'm a little worried. Oh, I know where it is. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Word of mouth is the most useful form of advertising for my situation, but I live in a majority Amish community in Colorado. Dude, good luck getting the Amish to buy things. Oh, dude, be careful, dude. You better make sure that Flint's
You
okay.
guys thought I was kidding. Like
I did.
there are some things that I don't kid about, and zombie apocalypse is one of them.
Yes. Okay, 94 baby as well. Respect the game, baby. Respect the baby game.
See that, Justin?
That's pretty good, Mike. Why did you start doing pressure washing? I am 13 and want to start my business.
Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a pressure washer. I was no,
Dude, the longer this goes on, the more nonsense Mike is answering with. Yes, anytime anyone ever asked Mike what he wanted to be when he grew up, he always responded, a pressure washer.
well, all these other kids, they were like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a fireman. And I'll never forget when they asked me, I said, I want to wash.
I'm going to skip right down to the bottom because this question caught my eye. We are in a majority low-income neighborhood. How would you target this area? We
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. I'd go to a different neighborhood.
We specifically block out bald people as well. I'm sorry, the bald guy, but you would not be getting. I'm just kidding. No, we don't. We don't. We love the balds and we love the
Okay,
hair.
we are in a majority low income neighborhood. Yeah, I would find other neighborhoods.
Has Mike ever had boudin? Have you ever had boudin, Mike?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I love all your food, dude.
I've good food. I don't cook it, but they have good stuff down here. Oh, Mike, I gotta get you some good stuff. Drive to a different neighborhood. Peaches. That's smart. Very smart.
Is that
Iron-
Mrs. Peaches? Miss Peaches?
I think so. Yeah.
That's
This is
awesome.
Peaches. Ironically, the low income areas need the most work. It's not your job to fix them. Okay, they don't need fixing.
Ironically.
Listening to Mike talk about dinosaurs reminds me of life skills kids. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Dude, the longer this goes, the harder it is for me to even comprehend what these questions are asking. Only G's out in the cold, power wash in a tank top. Dude, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there you go. When you get successful, you can go back to low-income neighborhoods and do it for free or reduced price if you want.
Yes, and that is a great thing. People talk. Someone was just asking about Mike Carmody, the Fresh Rents, and Mike and we did a live on my channel. I think it was on mine. It may have been on his, but we were talking about, because he's got a thing. His profits before, or people before profits. Mine is profits before people. Now, I say it all the time that we are in business to make a profit. This is not a charity. That's why you raise your prices. That's why you target the people with the most money that are not going to balk at, what you should be paid. And so we have varying, views on that. However, what we both agree on is the more money that you make in your business, the more charitable you can be outside of your business. And that is something that, like Peach has just said, yeah, you don't have to service those people because you're not going to make any money, right? If you don't make any money, then how are you going to help anybody? So go make a bunch of money and then you can help people.
There you go. The funny thing is that the more work you do, the more that you'll realize is the people that don't have any money are actually the worst people to work for. And even when you do things for free for them, they're usually not appreciative of them, and they usually have complaints.
And do you know what the poor people will say to that? When you say the poor people are the worst to work for, they'll say, "Oh no, it's the rich people. They're always trying to screw you over." Well, they're not. They're the ones that just pay their bills on time and probably won't ask, a whole lot of questions. Just say, "When can you be there and how do I pay you?" Right?
And they don't bat an eyelash when the price comes in. They just want somebody to do it quick, fast, and do a good job.
Not them.
There you go. So, anyway, this is a good question, Mike. I want us to answer this one seriously. What do you hate about pressure washing? What is the worst thing about the pressure washing business?
I probably that's a tough one, because like every single day there's something that sucks, right? Not every single day, but like I think mechanical failure is one of my least favorite things to deal with. And that's something that, when you're out there and you're working in a corrosive environment and you're working with things that are made of metal and have moving parts and combustion engines and all of these things, electrical components as well, there will be failure. It is part of the game. It's annoying though. And so that's probably one of my biggest problems. I know a lot of people would probably say maybe the unsteadiness of their business, and that goes back to lead flow. I can't necessarily, I can do some preventative maintenance to help maintain the equipment. And I can also do preventative maintenance on my marketing to make that better as well. And so I think, anything that I would hate, there's something that we can do better to make it better.
I completely agree. I would say that the things that make it bad are also the things that make it good. Okay. So, for instance, like Mike said, maybe people say, hey, the work is inconsistent. Okay. If you want work to be more consistent, why don't you go mow yards for $35 a yard and you have work, all year round? Well, it's when you have more consistent work, you have lower tickets. So the less consistent, the higher ticket, the more consistent, the lower ticket. The other thing is with the equipment, right? If you want less equipment upkeep, then just use worse equipment, but then it's going to make you slower. So the better equipment usually breaks more, but makes you more money, and the worse equipment. So it's like you have to take the good and the bad with everything. But like Mike said, I think a lot of people are missing a lot of pieces in their business that would actually make it a lot easier on them.
Yeah.
But for a serious question though, Mike, do you like the suds between your toes?
Yes. I've actually got my toes and suds right now. I've got a little bucket under my desk.
Oh, you got to keep those babies. You got to keep those babies wet. Mike, what's your game day whip?
What's your game day whip? He asked you first.
No, Mike, what's your game day whip? Justin, what's your game day whip? Is this a vehicle or is this a weapon of choice? I'm confused.
Yeah, tell me, because that's why I asked Justin, because I was hoping he knew.
I have an F-150. Okay, that's my whip, if you will.
You don't have an F-150.
Hey, big guy, won't you keep it on a leash, if you know what I'm saying? Oh, vehicle. Okay, vehicle. Yeah. Okay, Mike, what's your game day whip?
Well, my daily driver is a Tesla.
Sudsing Mike's dog. So that's pretty good. Okay. A Tezzy. Yeah, Mike has a white Tesla. He's a big Tesla guy.
I love Teslas.
Do you really? Mike's got to reload the suds. Yeah, my game day whip. I have an F-150, and it's good. I really enjoy it. I like it a lot. Can I clean with a 0.2 GPM? Says Chris, the striping guy.
Yes.
Is that a water hose? I mean, you probably get more. You get more flow out of a water hose.
You could spit on it, Chris.
Oh, game day whip is like the show off vehicle. There you go. Okay.
So I don't have a game day whip. I've got a gas vehicle that I keep with all of my pressure washing trucks and trailers that I never drive. And I've got actually my son Mikey's got that right now. His little car was having some issues and I didn't want him driving back to school. So I said, take my other vehicle.
Mike almost got a Cybertruck as his game day whip. You want to talk about why you didn't do that, Mike?
Yeah, I got the email from Tesla that it was ready. Well, let's see here, Tesla. But yeah, so I got the email. I got on the list to get the Cybertruck, and mine, because I got in so late, wasn't supposed to be ready until like 2026 or something like that because of all the orders and ahead of me. And then all of a sudden, I get this email that says, "Hey, your Cybertruck," and it was the Foundation series, really badass. It's ready. And I started to think, like, why is it ready like 2 years early? And it's because some of the things that have been going on with the Cybertruck has caused a lot of people to opt out and wait probably. But the more that I looked at it, the less I wanted it, because when you see them in person, they truly are horrible looking. I mean, the interior is amazing, and I'm sure the ride is fantastic. But I've seen far too many videos. Whistling Diesel had a great video, and obviously he's to the extreme. But that dude just demolished the Cybertruck, and it was a great video. But yeah, I opted out. I am not going to go with that. There's a couple other cars like Mercedes has got an electric G-Wagon that's going to be out, I think, in 2026, and that thing is phenomenal. The Hummer, it looks cool, but I'm not a big Hummer guy. I don't know. If Ford came out with a electric Bronco, I would be all over that.
I do love the Bronco. The Bronco Raptor's one of my favorites, man. It looks
Yeah,
really sweet.
Matthew is going to get if Matt gets Zell Miller, which is meaning you get like all of your college paid for. It's a like Hope Scholarship here in Georgia. Zell Miller's anyway. If he gets that, then he gets a brand new Bronco because then I won't have to pay for college.
Pretty sweet whip there. Mike,
Yeah.
how do you anyway, that's not a good question. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Game day whip. One thing I do want to say, Tesla business strategy right here was absolutely brilliant. Okay. They pre-sold the Cybertruck at $100 a piece. I'm pretty sure they sold 2 million pre-sales. So they raised $200 million. They sold thin air essentially because they'll say, hey, we'll send you an email when it's ready. And if you want to buy it, you're good to go. They sold $200 million in thin air, which helped them to obviously produce it and then marketing and everything else. But like, dude, how fucking
they never spent a dime on marketing. There was not a single advertisement done until like, a couple months ago when they were doing some YouTube videos and shooting them, right? That was it.
And then you look at how many elements of the Cybertruck lended itself to its own marketing, right? Like the fact that you can't shoot through the doors, the fact that the glass was supposed to be shatterproof, the fact that it looks like a space vehicle, like it just lended itself to like this virality. It probably was never even intended to, sell a whole bunch of them. It was just more of like this crazy concept.
I was talking with someone yesterday and we were like, it might be Elon just messing with us, right? He's like, what if I created like the ugliest car ever? Like, here, hey son, can your 4-year-old draw me a truck? Okay, guys, let's put it into production, right? Like ultimately that's what it looks like. And so maybe it was just like we all got punked by Elon and he raised all that money. So I don't know, kind of crazy.
I want to answer one last question, then we'll bounce, Mike. Hey y'all. Hey all, just getting started, tired of working for the man. Okay. Mike, what is the best advice you have for this computer guy to not work for the man any longer?
I would leverage your existing job and build your business on the side and wait until the point where, they're either level or one's exceeding the other, and go from there, right? Because yeah, it does suck to work for the man. If somebody out there can tell you what to do, where to be, like, that just rubs me the wrong way. I did it for a long, long time, and I made the choice that I was not going to do that anymore. And it was a difficult decision, but I made it, and I've never looked back. It's phenomenal. But I also positioned myself in a way that I wasn't reliant on the man to provide for myself. I was providing for myself and my family, and that's when I made the choice. Sometimes your hand is forced and you just, you don't have the luxury of working on, but whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever you do, don't leave your job prematurely. And if you built up a year of clients, all you got to do is roll those clients over every single year. So, build up the business, reinvest back into the business, keep your day job so that way you can use that as leverage and you don't have to, rely solely on your wash income. And then, like Mike said, once one surpasses the other one, then yeah, make it happen.
Yeah, I wonder. Jack says Porsche Cayenne Turbo. He said, "Do you want to ride?" I wonder if a Porsche Cayenne could beat my car in a race.
I think your car definitely beats it in so many feet. Dude, the acceleration, if you've never ridden in an electric vehicle, the instant, was it torque, Mike?
Torque, it's unbelievable.
It's like a roller coaster ride. Like, there's no revving up, there's nothing. So I don't know. Hey, maybe we can make that happen. Maybe Jack will wants to come and race the Tezzy. You know what I'm saying? We'll put it on YouTube.
Let's do it.
Okay, sweet. I'm sure Jack will be open to that. All right, sweet. Well, we're gonna wrap on this, guys. If you made this far in the video, hit the thumbs up button for it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want one-on-one coaching with myself and Mike, it'll be linked down below. And if you want to try Quote IQ Cam, obviously that's linked down below as well. Mike, anything else you want to mention for this video?
No, everybody have a great long weekend. It's Labor Day, and I hope you guys are able to kind of take the day and enjoy yourselves.
What's the word of the day, Mike?
Peaches.
If you made this far in the video, comment down below peaches. I'll hashtag your room. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. Until next time, hustle hard, get that money, baby. Peace.